welcome folks into Out to Lunch. It is the 12 o'clock hour here. We appreciate everyone joining us today and tuning in and being a part of the conversation with us here in downtown Elgin, serving you, the listeners out there. We greatly appreciate it here, as this is Matt McNeil taking you into the afternoon. I'll be on here until 1 o'clock. If you want to check out more information, you can find us on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WRMN Radio. If you want to hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell so that you always keep yourself in tune on what's happening here in the Fox River Valley and what's going on here on WRMN. Now, of course, we love to talk about different communities, events, specials that are going on, and especially clubs and organizations. Clubs and organizations are a staple in communities, especially thriving communities like Elgin. And we want to recognize one in particular that's been around, recently celebrating 135 years. We have the Elgin Women's Club. And of course, we have very special guests here with us today. We have Rita Corbett and Miss Betty Brown with us, joining us live in studio. Thank you both for joining us today.
Our pleasure.
Thank you. How are you both doing this morning, or now afternoon?
Doing just fine, and thank you for the opportunity to visit with you.
Of course, absolutely. Thank you for joining us today. So tell us a little bit here, too, a little bit about the Elgin Women's Club. Now, it was founded when?
Well, in 1887, there was a newspaper article in the local paper, and it said, and it's just as true today as it was in 1887, women of Elgin, young and old, rich and poor, married and single, come, let us reason together and lend a hand in the world's great work. That was an article that was put in the local newspaper by a woman named Lois Wilcox. Wow. And she was, the meeting was at the new YWCA at the time, and 36 women came to the meeting, and they started the Elgin Women's Club. You want to tell them what our first project was?
Our first project was held in 1888. And when we founded and managed the Sherman Hospital.
Wow.
You didn't know, 2 women founded it.
Wow, that is something.
And the board consisted of men who ran it.
Wow.
Actually, the thing that I think is so astounding is that the women founded it, and we ran it, and the women ran the hospital until 1945, at which time it was turned over to a board of men. But in looking back at finding things, the Elgin History Museum has a wealth of material from the Elgin Women's Club, but the women didn't just run the hospital. They made the hospital gowns. They made, all the bandages. They made all the supplies. But the hospital gowns have embroidered bodices. I mean, they didn't just cut a piece of fabric. They did first class, which was really fun. That is our first major project. The actual first project, however, was a new heating system for the Elgin Academy, because Lois Wilcox was an art teacher at the Elgin Academy. Her husband was on the board there. And so that was a small project that they did before they founded the hospital. One of the women in that 36 that arrived at that meeting that day was Mrs. Sherman.
Ah, yes.
Okay. And she and her husband had recently moved into Elgin. He was a pharmacist here, I believe. And anyway, so she went home and told her husband about this need for a hospital. And so the first hospital in Elgin was a home donated by Henry Sherman. And the only stipulation that he had, well, he had 2. The first stipulation was that it would be named the Sherman Hospital.
Of course.
Of course. And the second was that if for any reason it was sold, all of the money had to go back into a hospital organization for the city of Elgin.
Wow. Such a rich history.
Oh, it's a fabulous. And to think that the women in 1887 did these remarkable projects. I mean, finding and founding and running a hospital is no small task. And yet, obviously, they did it very successfully. Change was not easy. And at the time, there were many roadblocks to this hospital, supposedly, because the neighborhood wasn't sure they wanted it there. Even the health board for the city of Elgin came out against the house being used as a hospital because they said it would lower the value of the property in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
But the original hospital had 6 beds, and 2 of the 6 beds were free.
Wow.
Isn't that wonderful to think that
Back then.
amidst
Yes.
the difficulty that was happening, they wanted to make sure that everybody was served.
I love that. And it's so amazing to see and read the history and be inspired by it today and how far we've come in certain areas and to keep that history alive is so important. So that's a really cool story. And then you get into the nurse training school, it was 1896. It's another one there too.
Yeah, the nurses training school was started, and actually during World War I, several of the nurses from the Sherman training school became nurses for the Red Cross. 17 of our nurses went to World War I, and I think it was like 12 of them actually served, either overseas or here, but all of them became Red Cross nurses. And after the war, 5 soldiers, Illinois soldiers, who were terribly shell-shocked, were sent back to Elgin, to the Elgin Mental Hospital, which was down on 31
Oh, wow.
at the time.
Okay.
And so, and one of the reasons that they were sent back here was because they said that the medical care in this area was extremely good.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So the hospital, the mental hospital, the nurses,
connected.
it was all connected.
So that's a beautiful, like I said, rich history in Elgin. It's something to be proud of. It's something to say as an Elginite. Look at the history that was there, these accomplishments, and to have that history too is very important. And I'm a big advocate for keeping history alive. And so we've got the Elgin History Museum and
Well, one of the other, I mentioned that World War I, one of the other things that people might notice and not have any idea it has anything to do with the Elgin Women's Club is there's a doughboy statue sitting right off of Dundee Avenue, where it turns into Villa Avenue, on the corner. And
You've probably passed it and never paid any attention.
I must have,
to
yeah.
the doughboy.
the doughboy.
it's a World War I doughboy statue that the Elgin Women's Club caused to be put there because they decided to drive to recognize the World War I veterans. And so they decided to have a fundraiser here in town. Now you have to understand, this is 2022. And in 2022, they did a drive, a citywide fundraising drive,
Fundraising.
and they made $2,140.78.
Wow.
That was a lot of money back then.
It was, yeah.
Well, the beauty of it is that there was only one gift for $15. There were 3 gifts of $10, and there were 5 gifts of $5. All the rest of it was change and coins, and the schools had penny drives for kids to bring pennies to school. So they had all of this amazing coinage drive in the town that brought in over $2,000.
Wow.
The statue actually cost us a little less than that. I say cost us. Boy, do I want to feel part of them. But it cost us a little. And so in the parks in town, there's a big rock that says Wing Park, and one that says, okay, each of the parks what was left from that drive for the Doughboy statue is what purchased the big rocks and had them engraved to be put in the parks in Elgin.
Oh, wow. Oh, that is something. I didn't know that. I am familiar with the rocks.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Well, you have so many other great things, history that's here. If we look into, even 1955-56, Travel Adventure Film Series with the Elgin Community College
Yes.
Yes.
is something else.
The people in Elgin traveled, and of course,
We still
it's
have
kind of our Rick Steves of Elgin. I don't know, but people would travel with the idea of coming home, and Elgin Women's Club would set up a time at ECC or through ECC for them to present their trip and what they learned and about the
to
culture.
share it with everyone.
Yeah, to share it with everyone. So that was really wonderful. It was a fundraiser for Elgin Women's Club because people paid a small amount to go hear about the trips. But at the same time, it was a real educational program.
And they still exist, the travel series.
Oh, the travel series still exists. Wow. That sounds like, these it really shows how much the women had cared at the time. And I mean, still do. I mean, the fact that it's been going on for over 135 years now is really, really something.
Well, and we'd like to invite young women today to think about being part of this, only because it's been not only just a rich history, but it's currently, we're still being very involved in things that are happening in the city of Elgin. One of the major things that the Elgin Women's Club has done, we did do some of these things by ourselves, but we've also been an important part of supporting other organizations that are doing things. The Y is a good example. We've always been a good partner with them. A lot of the churches, we partnered with activities that they were doing. The Pads of Elgin is our Christmas donation for this year. We're doing gift cards for Pads of Elgin. So different organizations in town. Easter Seals was a big part of the history of Elgin. And actually, some of the other organizations in town are offshoots of the Elgin Women's Club, Elgin Women's Club, because they decided they wanted to do certain things. They were a group that wanted to only go into music and really look at the arts. And there was another group that wanted to do the physical counseling and family hands-on thing. And that was another group that was kind of an offshoot. So
We've been an offshoot of many clubs.
yeah, that's right.
Every club seems to have an integral part in everything that ties together what the Elgin Women's Club is.
Yes.
That's right.
What it was, what it is, and what it will hopefully become
Continue
even
to
more
be.
in the future.
Continue.
Yes. The one on here that I also chuckle about is that, and I think women should appreciate this more than anything, Elgin Women's Club was responsible for getting free garbage pickup in the city of Elgin.
Free garbage pickup. Now I'm seeing here that was 1909.
Yes.
And the reason is because the city had just recently put in gas mains.
Okay.
And prior to that time, everyone had a wood stove. And with a wood stove, your garbage just got burned up in the stove.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, in the early 1900s, people started noticing more flies
Okay.
and more garbage because there was no place to get rid of it. And so the Elgin Women's Club took that project upon their shoulders to deal with the city and to figure out how we could get free garbage pickup in the city of Elgin, which I think still exists today. Maybe a little fee, but close.
Close to it. I love what it says here in the description. City beautification is another thing as well, too. So that also does kind of tie in with the free garbage pickup as well. And then I also do see here tree planting. So helping to plant new trees so it can grow. I'm sure many of the trees we still see here in Elgin were originally planted maybe in the 1900s.
The original tree planting project, which went on for years, started around the railroad station and getting a beautiful look for the people coming to the city for the first time on the train.
Then they went to the schools, because I can remember there was a time we were given a tree sprout and to plant. I have in my old house, elm trees were big,
Wow.
Wonderful.
and they just started with a sprout.
Oh, another wonderful story that I think you should tell because you can tell it. Betty was our club president in 1976, but prior to that, in the 50s, they took on an interesting project fundraiser.
We had a tablecloth, and every member, and we had like how many, 200 or 300 members?
Actually, 500.
500 members.
Wow.
Can you believe?
Oh my goodness.
Well, that was a social event, and we had a tablecloth, and we each had to pay $1 to write our names on this tablecloth. And where was the tablecloth from?
The fabric was linen, Irish linen, and the
It had
thread
to
was
be
from
Irish.
France, and the outside lace around the edge was from the Netherlands, somewhere, I'm not exactly sure. But it was an international, a high-quality tablecloth.
And we cherished it and kept it for many, many, many years. And we got it out, or it was it at the Elgin Museum?
Well, it is now. We were afraid it
Yes.
got lost, but someone embroidered each of these names. But we don't know.
Every person paid $1 to write our names, and then someone embroidered them.
But
Wow,
what name did you put on it, Betty?
But at the time, women did not put their names, they put their husband's name.
Okay.
And so now, after all of these years, many of those ladies are passed. We didn't know their name. We just see their husband's name. I think I'm the only one that I'm still living, that my name is on there. And I was Mrs. Floyd Brown, but I'm still Betty Brown. Because we could not get charge cards. Was back in that time. Everything was under your husband's name.
I'm sure the Elgin History Museum maybe has some research done on those names and tied to who they were married to maybe at the time.
Oh, I'm sure. The Elgin History Museum is
Yes,
such
they
a
do.
phenomenal resource. They have been so good, but they do have the tablecloth now. And in fact, I think they have it on exhibit
Yes,
or on display.
because it's so phenomenal.
Because
that
it's-
back then we could not use our names.
We talked about the fact that we had 500 members. In the 20s, the membership went up to into the hundreds. By 1954, we had 540 members. Needless to say, the majority of those members, due to the women in the workforce, due to just a whole lot of things, our membership has gone way, way down. And we really are rebuilding, which is kind of fun. And we would love to have young women join us. The current activities, our next meeting is January 7th. It's at noon at Bennigan's out on the Holiday Inn on
Dundee.
Route 31, the Crystal Room. And so we would love to have people come there. If someone wants to ask questions or has thoughts that they want to share with us, we have an email address that everyone can use, and it's EWC for Elgin Women's Club, Elgin, EWCELGIN, all small case except the first E. So it's capital EWCELGIN at gmail.com. And our current president, Cindy Mullen, anyway, she, a few years ago, contacted us and said, I just want to be part of something. I just want to be part of what's going on. And certainly, we know that there are a lot of other women out there who are probably feeling the same way. We currently have co-presidents. Cindy is one of them, and Maggie Byers is one of them. And so we have, an administrative committee and chairman of Betty. I think you're on the history committee and also the membership committee, so forth. So it's just a typical organization in that format, but it's not typical in the kinds of things
History.
that we want to do.
Yeah. And we give a scholarship
Oh, good point.
every year.
You give scholarships.
Yes, we do. And our president usually comes into whatever school. How many did we pick this year? Two?
We pick 2 each year. They have to be, they're from U46.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we only accept, and they are both for students who are pursuing
Nursing,
a medical degree.
medical.
All things
medical.
Okay.
Yes.
Further education in medicine, mainly because of our connection
With
to
the
Sherman Hospital. We are very proud of that connection, but it's not the only thing we've done. We do all sorts of things.
You've done many, yes. We are already out of time. I want to say thank you both for joining us today, as always. Of course, always feel free to come back whenever you'd like.
you.
And folks, please check out more information. The Elgin Women's Club, celebrating 135 years of service and community development projects. This is a great way to socialize, learn, to create, and to provide support for community development needs in the Elgin area. It's going strong. It's been going strong for 135 years. And we hope that the many women out there throughout these generations can help to make it go for another 135 years and more as well too. So check out more information. We'll have this video posted on YouTube with the email link provided so you can check out more information. Their phone number will also be provided as well too. Thank you, Rita and Betty, for joining us today here on WRMN. And welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch here on WRMN AM 1410. There's so much information about the Elgin Women's Club, so much rich history, and we want to tell you more about it. So we decided we've got here, of course, these 2 lovely ladies back on with us again. Thank you for joining us here. We'll stick around for a little longer, and we'll talk about some interesting history and some other great things that are also noteworthy as well, too. So thank you again for sticking around.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the chance.
Of course. So I wanted to mention here, I know you wanted to mention some news about Advocate Sherman Hospital and the recent new president.
Yes, and her name is Sherry DeJajo. And I think she's the first woman president, isn't she? I'm sure she is.
Wow. That is so
Because as history of any organization, it's usually the men.
right. So when you have a woman there, that really stands out. And I know that she's had over 30 years of experience in healthcare
Yes, she
leadership
has.
roles. She previously served as senior vice president. That was in North Carolina. And she's been at the hospital, I believe, since 2020.
Yes.
Since 2020.
bet you
So
know.
yes. So it's very cool to have that. And I'd love to have her here on the air as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She would be very good, very interesting.
Absolutely. I know you also have a fundraiser coming up you wanted to mention.
Oh, yes. Actually, we mentioned that our next meeting was in January. We're having a
7th.
Christmas program, our Christmas party, and our Christmas project was for pads. But in April, Betty had mentioned that every year we give 2 scholarships to U46 students who are pursuing education, a medically related education. And so in April, we do a fundraiser, and it's at the Elgin Country Club, and it will be a tea,
Oh, nice.
kind of our modern version of the of tea. And we would love to invite everyone to come. We'll give more information out about it as we get closer to it. But that fundraiser is strictly for the scholarships. So it's raising money for the scholarships. Earlier this year,
Gave 2.
our president, as of 2024, was Linda Fagan, and Linda passed away in July. And so this year, one of the scholarships is going to be the Linda Fagan Memorial Scholarship.
Oh, that's very nice.
In her
It's a
honor.
Who
wonderful
was
honor.
very involved in many projects in Elgin.
Yeah,
That's such a wonderful honor to have that.
yeah. Actually, one of Linda's other major involvements was with the veterans and the
Legion.
auxiliary. I'm trying to think. The veterans
American.
organization. Anyway, because of that, the Elgin Women's Club also became very involved with helping with soldiers who need to be rehoused and getting back into their typical or normal way of life after coming home. And so we've done a lot of food raising, a lot of move-in kits. We've done some furniture work. One of the women in the group did books, collected books for veterans for years. So the veterans have also been one of our main avenues is patriotism, and we do patriotism in the arts and education and beautification and inner city beautification. So that was really nice that she gave us the opportunity to be so closely involved with veterans in the community.
That is wonderful. And again, I wanted to mention here too, folks can find more information if you call the number 630-240-2192. And I do have this information on this beautiful little card right here. And if anyone is interested, if you would like this emailed to you, I can scan it and send it to
Actually,
you. Or...
the email that we would like them to use is the capital E, ewcelgin @gmail.com.
Awesome. I'll
Okay.
make sure, I'll put that in the description.
Thank you. That
You're
would be
very welcome.
wonderful.
Of course. Now, with such rich history and so many different events that have been put on by the Elgin Women's Club, is there anything new that the Elgin Women's Club is doing that they've never done before?
Well, we started working at the, or have done some work at the food bank, which is something that we hadn't done before. And as I mentioned before, we're kind of in the growing stage. So we have some
Replanting.
we have some ideas on the table, but we haven't decided what direction we're going yet. But we do look forward to being, I would love to say, as actively involved in the community as the women of the past have been, but I don't think we can fill those shoes. Those are huge shoes to fill. In fact, you might have noticed on that card about our 135th anniversary, the front of it has shoes on it.
Yes.
Because we can't fill those old shoes
Yes.
like the women of the past could fill them. They have just done an amazing job in history, throughout history, but we would like to be at least a little part of moving forward.
Well, I would say a big part for sure. Absolutely. It's all tied together.
Yeah, it is. But all of the clubs have changed. And years ago, you had a main club like the women's club, and then more clubs formed. But as the young women went back to work, they got an education, they start working. So they don't have time like we used to have that kind of time to devote. So it's all, the whole world has changed.
Yes. With the economy and like you said, more women working now too. Back in the day, they had the time to put into the clubs.
And the beauty of that is that they use their time to do something for everyone else. It wasn't as though they, of course they couldn't sit around and watch TV. There wasn't any TV to watch. But it wasn't as though they wasted any of their time.
Right.
They really spent.
And most of the young women now work.
That's right.
They have jobs and a family. So it's changed.
Which also it might be a good thing to mention because there are two organizations. There is an Elgin Junior Elgin Junior Women's Club here in Elgin also. And obviously it is an offshoot, but they meet only at night. And our Elgin Women's Club, we have been meeting in the past for luncheons or at noon.
So your time
And so
changes again.
this year, because we have several young women who are working, we have gone to a split shift. So some months we're doing lunch and some months we're doing dinner, so that we can include everyone, or so that everyone can come without having to feel like they have to run away from the office for a while. The women that we have that are currently working have done a wonderful job of doing that, but that makes their day very stressful. So it'll be nice to have
I'm sure
evening.
you find that in the men's groups.
Yes. So you have it. It's a monthly luncheon meeting. And now, does it usually is it usually set on a particular third Tuesday of the month, or
This year, it is on this Wednesday. It's on the second Wednesday of every month.
second Wednesday of every month? Okay.
And it's going, the next two meetings in January and February will be at the Crystal Room at the Holiday Inn, by Bennigan's restaurant in the Holiday Inn.
Very nice.
And then the next three are evening meals, and those are all going to be in homes of members.
Very
Which we used to do years ago. All the meetings were held at someone's home.
That's cool. And now, but it's changed so much. You know, you have more. Do you still have meetings in homes?
We will.
Very
Occasionally?
few.
Oh, very nice.
I don't know any club that does that anymore. But I remember having many, many meetings in my home. And then we used to get chairs from the Laird's. They used to bring chairs to our house.
Oh wow, Laird did.
So that you'd had enough chairs for
So we would have enough chairs
That's cute.
because people had them in their homes. But it's a whole different menu of everything. You had to change.
Yeah. Everything has changed so much in time, and
Yes.
technology as well too. So there's a lot of that. But looking at the history and looking at hearing the past stories of both of you is inspirational, because it shows, the timeless memory that was there, and how you can pass it down to others, and you can inspire others as well. And I love that.
Thank you very much.
Thank
As
you.
the saying goes, by their fruits ye shall know them.
Yes, absolutely.
And we planted a lot of fruit.
We really do appreciate the chance. And obviously, we had to delve in to our history and learn all sorts of stories because of our celebration at the Elgin History Museum a couple of years ago. And so that really sparked an interest in all of us to get involved. But one of the things that we do, ALF, is it C-A-C ALF?
Mike Elf.
Like Al. Okay.
I'm sure you heard that
He's-
name.
I have.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, he did a book on Sherman Hospital, a little purple book that if you become a new member, you get a copy of Alf's history of the Sherman Hospital, because a lot of it is also the history of Elgin Women's Club. So you get the pin. Oh, because we belong to the Greater Federation of Women's Clubs.
Which is national.
Oh wow.
It is a national organization. There's also a Greater Federation of Women's Clubs in Illinois. Elgin Women's Club existed before the Greater Federation of Women's Clubs was formed. So we are the oldest member, not the oldest member of the club of the Illinois chapter, because we're the oldest member of women's clubs, because we were a women's club before they ever started. But we take pride in that as well. But the membership in the Greater Federation also gives us more places, and a couple of the projects that are very important to the Illinois chapter are human trafficking and the health of women and the education of women throughout the state and throughout the nation. And this just gives us more avenues because they also send to us a list of the projects that they are working on, and we can be part of that project as well. So there's lots that can be done and
Yes.
lots that we get to do.
And we welcome all women.
And that's right. And we welcome everybody to join us.
I love it. Well, thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
As always, you can always come back here, and we will definitely keep promoting the Elgin Women's Club, folks. Check out more information. You can find them. And again, that email, let me repeat it to you. That email is ewcelgin@gmail.com. I'll make sure to put it in the description on this interview. Thank you both so
very
much.
Thank you.
Of course, folks, we'll take a quick time out. We'll be back with more here on Out to Lunch. Stay tuned.